Welcome to Listen in 3D. This is episode number 43. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we are both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and the albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share this video around. And yeah, just help us out by doing that. If you want to help us out one step further, click on that notification bell. That way you know when all our videos go live. We have a lot of content up on our channel already, from shorts to other episodes. So, you're never missing a beat if you're not subscribed. So definitely subscribe and, just help us out there. So hopefully everyone's been having a good one. And we're going to get into, I guess, I would describe this guy as a pioneer, not just for the Bay Area, but just, overall just a straight pioneer in the hip hop game. After listening to this album and going through the songs and listening to some of his other stuff as well, what do you think of this whole album after listening?
I thought it was pretty good. Like we always talk about all of the albums with no features that we
Hmm.
discuss, and those are always like up toward the top, and this one was too.
Yeah, he had very limited features on this one. It was really only one song where he had a feature. What's this? Before you start doing it, I just want to hear you say this. What's this guy's favorite word? I know you know it. Come on.
His favorite word.
Come on. All right. I'll do
Oh.
it. Biatch. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. All right. Who we talking about today? Who we talking about?
So today we'll be discussing Too Short's fifth studio album, Life is Too Short. It was released in 1988 and later released in 1989 through Jive Records. It went two times platinum. It peaked at number 9 on the R&B and hip hop album charts and number 37 on the Billboard Top 200. It was his best-selling album. It had singles including Life is Too Short, City of Dope, and I Ain't Trippin'. And it had music videos for Life is Too Short and I Ain't Trippin'. And there's guest appearances from Danger Zone and Rappin' Forte. I thought it was just Forte.
Oh yeah, yeah, rapping Forte. Yeah. So,
Oh, I
uh,
never knew that.
all right. So Todd Shaw, better known by his stage name, Too Short. He started rapping in the early '80s. Just started, just doing tapes. He was a drummer at his high school, Fremont High in Oakland, California. He was born in, South Central Los Angeles and later relocated to Oakland with his family. Pretty much, he started rapping and, just his favorite word, bitch or biatch or however you want to say it. I mean, if you listen to like a lot of his music later on down the line, you'll see that he does use that word quite a bit. But definitely he was a pioneer of just coming through the '80s. Just selling tapes out of a trunk. I mean, he was definitely the perfect example of that. And just very very good, clever guy. And one thing about his music, even though it had the profanity and all that stuff, he, I mean, he doesn't portray the gang life, if that makes sense. At least on this album, he doesn't. Like, he doesn't talk about like robbing people or killing people. He's just the guy's just a straight player. Just a Mac player. Pimping. That's his thing. That's how he got the fame, and that's what he's most famous for, and he is very good at it. So, so I mean, that definitely very very great voice. Very good rapper, and along with him and possibly MC Hammer, also definitely put Bay Area rap on the map. Definitely a pioneer. He has been around longer than E40 for all you youngins out there, but yeah. So enough with him. And even though one other thing I do gotta say, even though this was his best album to date, I feel like it's not his best material, but I mean, he has some pretty good songs on here, so we'll get into it though. But I've definitely this isn't my favorite from him, and hopefully sometime down the line we'll do my favorite Too Short album eventually. So in terms of nostalgic, um, anything going back toward Too Short, I'd have to say the first time I really heard him was the single "Getting It," and that was from his 10 studio album. If I could pull it up here real quick, "Getting It," yeah, "Getting It" album number 10. So yeah, that was supposed to be his like farewell album, but I think Jay Z kind of took a page out of his book because he came out of retirement, and I don't think he's retiring anytime soon. I mean, he's still putting good music out there today. I mean, doing stuff with Mount Westmore, which is with him, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and E40. Obviously, if he were to do Mount Rushmore of West Coast hip hop artists, he would be up there. So glad to be giving this guy his flowers today. Great guy, great rapper, and the guy's just funny. What can you say? All right. Do you have any nostalgic connections to Too Short? Have you listened to him before? I know you have.
Is getting it? You should be getting it. Is that one?
Getting Wild's getting it's good. Getting Wild's yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say I hadn't heard him, but if he did that song, I definitely have heard him before. I just never listened to a full album.
Okay. And then anything else like Blow the Whistle. I know that was one of his popular ones in the mid 2000s. And then I think he was also on that
Oh, that
one.
was him too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Blow the Whistle, and then I think Milkshake he did with that one lady. I forget her name, but
Khalees.
yeah, I think he was on that song. I could be wrong. I mean, let me pull up his discography real quick. But if he was on, I know he did a song with her. But let's see, as a feature artist, says as feature artist, was he on there? Yeah. No. Khalid, no, not Milkshake. Bossy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
Okay,
was
that
on that
was
song.
his
Yeah,
song.
yeah, it was that. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. In that case, then yes, I've heard a lot of them. In that case, I just didn't really know it was him, but I loved Khalees's Bossy.
Yeah, okay. You've heard Bob. Okay, so we're getting somewhere now. So you've had a little experience with Too Short. So he's had the same voice for the most. Well, maybe on this album he went into a different tone, but you know, he's but he yeah he's I don't think he's done really like any acting or anything like that, but he has done like a lot of interviews. If you watch Vlad TV, I mean he's done a few on there. So definitely check them out if you get a chance. All right, so enough with nostalgic pre-listening thoughts. Let's see, artwork. What'd you think of the artwork?
I really like the this album cover. I like how he weaves this. It's like a cliche phrase. Life is too short. He weaves this into this his narrative of himself as a rapper who like buries suckers MCs. So he's like life is too short, and he's standing right behind a tombstone where this sucker MC that he is buried. I thought it was very representative of the album as a whole, because while he's proclaiming like I'm the best rapper to ever do it and stuff like that and all the bravado that comes with it. He also discusses the value of life and putting your all into it, working hard. So this was actually one of my favorite album covers, second only to the Miseducation.
Oh wow, you really like this one. Okay, I would say. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't really ranked the album covers, but it's a pretty good one. I mean, I can't complain. Like the tombstone there, John Sucker MC Doe, born on stage, died on wax. So, he's doing something he loves doing, rest in peace. So, gotta like that. It's him there, with the gold chain, all that stuff. So, it's pretty cool. Not my favorite, but it's a pretty good one. I mean, I would have to really go back and look at all all the album covers if we're going to choose a top 5 album cover we've done so far. But I mean, the fact that it's your second favorite, I mean, I like it. But then I know that you're very detailed, so I know you really like looking at the album cover, see what the meaning is behind it, and yeah, you go into very very good
Yeah.
detail. All right, so all right, let's get into beats. And for album done in 1988, I was actually pretty impressed with the beats. They had some pretty good ones, so I mean, you can't complain. Um, for me, I would have to go cuss words. Honorable mention of "Pimp the Hoe." Wasn't "Pimp the Hoe" wasn't my favorite song, but it cuss words I think was a definitely like a like if you're cruising down the street and you just bumping dun 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 dun. Yeah, I really like that. What were your favorite beats on this one?
Yes, this was a really hard choose for me beat wise.
Yeah, there were a lot of good
The
ones.
first Yeah, it really was. The first one I thought was gonna be my favorite was Oakland. Like probably within less than a second of turning it on, I was like, okay, this is the one I'm probably gonna choose as
Mm.
my favorite beat. This has got to be the best beat on the album. But then I heard cuss words and that part that you're talking about. As soon as they start talking about Ronald Reagan,
Oh
that
yeah,
beat, like I don't know, is that the synthesizer or what? But that
yeah,
I really love that. It reminded me of something like in the 2000s or something like
yeah. I,
Big Pimpin' or something. It
I
was
think I'm pretty sure it's been sampled. I could do some research. I haven't really had time to check to see if it's been sampled, but I'm pretty sure that beat has been sampled somewhere down the line. I could let you know
yeah,
off air
but
if I can
then
find it.
yeah, but then I heard City of Dope, which I
Oh,
actually end up I love that one the most. I really love the guitar on it, but
oh yeah, they had a nice
all
guitar
of
riff.
these beats were pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I really loved all three, but I would come down on City of Dope.
City of Dope. All right, yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, great beat, but a lot of great beats on here, so you really can't go wrong, in my opinion, with choosing a good beat or yeah, because the worst beat could be someone else's favorite beat, in your opinion. So I mean, I really don't think there are any bad beats on here, and for all the albums we've done, I mean, that's really saying a whole lot because we've done some albums where it's like you definitely come across a beat where it's just like, okay, what the hell is this?
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of City of Dope, that was one of the singles, the only one that did not have a music video. So let's get into that one. Um, let's see. So one of the things I do like about it, City of Hope, City of Dope. City of Dope, I call it, oh, can't be broke, selling coke, fat ropes, shattered hopes, fresh cars, and all that dope. Bassheads keep the trade alive, nobody about a 9 to 5. I just love how he kicks the song off here, and just like, with the guitar riff and the beat and everything, just telling a story, just really just telling a story of like a drug dealer going through like the Bay Area, selling dope. I mean, so that's one of the things I really do like about the song. What do you like about the song in particular besides the beat?
I like when he says, speaking from the point of view of the drug dealer, he says, I'm never broke. I don't smoke. I sold a rock and made you have a stroke.
Hmm.
I was like, wow. And I like when he says, get a piece of the rock, turn your life around, because I felt like that could apply to either the user or the dealer. In the user's case, you're turning your life around in a really awful way. In the dealer's case, you might be turning your life around in a fantastic way. And he says, God damn that rock cocaine.
Hmm.
Um, in an interview I saw of him, he said that he kicked the habit. It seemed like he discussed kicking this habit rather like it was a simple thing to do. He's like the people around me, the people I wanted to hang around, like some big wigs, they
Yeah.
told me not to use it around them, so I just stopped. And I was like, wow, I've never heard people talk about using coke or crack or something, and they're like, oh, I just stopped because the
Yeah.
people around me didn't like it. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
A addicting drug like that, if you can quit that cold turkey, that really says a lot about you. It really does. Not having to go to rehab or, go to like any 12-step
Yes.
treatments or anything like that. Yeah, that really says a lot. So, props to him for being able to do that. But anyway, let's go on to another single. "Life Is Too Short." I guess the title of the album and the song. I'll let you kick this one off.
Oh yes. This was the very first song on the album
And you thought it
since it
was the
was my
best beat?
first time hearing. No, I didn't like the boom boom tick, boom boom tick. I don't know.
Oh,
It felt very old school to me,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the
that's fair.
since it was my first time hearing him, I like that he opened it up with with his story. He
Mhm.
says, "I remember how it all began," and he tells the story of his come up in the rap game.
Yeah.
He talks about how long it's been, 8 years on the mic, and I'm not joking. And then in verse two, he comes back and he talks about the value of life. He even talks about people who commit suicide, and he wonders, was it too much or nothing big? If you live my life, you be fighting to live. And he concludes, life to me is my main asset. I also like the chorus because the chorus, and like a lot of the choruses on this album,
Mhm.
is very like simple.
Very
Life
very
is
smooth,
too
very
short.
smooth, very smooth. I mean, just not
Yes,
not
and
just instrumental like you hear on some other songs, just like at least he's saying something, but it just keeps it simple. Life is too short.
yes, and the way he goes into it each time is very smooth from verse to chorus. Like on verse one, he says, "I'm that rapping man. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Life is too short." And
Mhm.
on verse four, he says, "It's your life. Don't be stupid though, because when you waste it, you'll know life is too short." So yes, it was very smooth. I really liked it, and the name of the song is the name of the album, and
Mm.
he kind of takes this quote, life is too short, that people just always say kind of flippantly, and he elaborates on it. So I really like this song.
Yeah, it was a good song. It was a good choice for a single. Life is too short. One of the things I think I said this a while back. You know how we talk about like a lot of current artists today having like real short songs, like under like 2 3 minutes. If we dig in deeper into his catalog, you'll see that he really does have some like long songs, like over 6 minutes. This album included. So I do like how this song was actually one of the shorter songs on the album. I mean, I like his music, but one thing is his songs are a bit long, especially his older ones. Maybe not so much today, but yeah, back then, yeah, he could go on for a while, especially if he had some features. But one of my favorite parts on this one was let's see, the third verse. Life is too short. Would you agree? While I'm living my life, don't mess with me. It's been a long time, baby, since I first got down, but I still keep making these funky sounds. That's what he said on one of his later songs that we talked about earlier in the episode, Getting It. So, I mean, I really like that verse, but I just like how it's so smooth, just a very smooth song. And, he talks about his dirty raps, but one thing, I don't know if you've noticed, but, like how it came out in, the late 80s. So, like, record companies, they really didn't want too much like profanity on it. And, you do like a radio version or then like dirty album version. This album, I mean, if you really notice, like the first 5 songs didn't that really have any like profanity, like minimal cussing, maybe a crap or something, if you even consider that a cuss word. But yeah, like the first 5 songs were like really clean, like from I Ain't Trippin' to Rhymes, Nobody Does It, even Oakland, just so I mean, I do like how a rapper can just go in, especially these days, just do a whole verse without having to cuss. So that's always impressive to me when a rapper doesn't have to cuss like that. But just definitely a smooth song.
Yeah, I kind of knew him, like I associated him with having racy lyrics. So when
Yeah.
I came into listen, I was expecting like him to be like, boop 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 boop, but
Mm,
yeah, it wasn't really like that until later on in the album.
yeah. So yeah, like the second half was definitely the dirty side, and if you had the original LP or or the cassette, obviously, clean side, dirty side. That's how you put that together. All right, and then
Okay.
any thoughts on the music video?
um, it wasn't. I thought the other music video on this album was better. This one was kind of basic, and plus, I guess over time you just can barely even see it.
Yeah, the editing was a
It was
little
okay.
yeah, the editing was a little hard to see at some places. Obviously you can see him in, his car, going through East Oakland, I guess, but um, this wasn't through Vivo, so obviously, because I know like a lot of music videos they're able to like re-edit the videos, make it look a little better for like a HD TV. So kind of hard to look at. If you can find it, guys, you can watch it, but it's really not too much to look at. Just him with a sweater and his gold chain and Freddie B, I guess. All right, last single, I Ain't Trippin'. So this was a really good song. In terms of that, I like how he goes into the tone, how he starts the song. Dun, 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 dun. I was told not long ago, too short, don't stop that rap. Now every time I grab the mic, I rock you just like that. Yeah, he doesn't really like. So, like, if this was like the first song you heard from him on this album, and if you heard like say something like "Bossy," maybe you wouldn't have recognized him because of that other tone he went into. I think that's a tone he hardly ever uses, but I like, I just like how he's just, again, just plays it real cool on this song. Um, pretty good song for the most part. And then I like the part where he talks about when I made the cut, the freaky tales. I started picturing this. I named my album "Born to Mac" with the cleanest raps and beats. So yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard "Freaky Tales." I could play for you after this, but yeah. But yeah, it's I think I like how he makes a nod to his first album, Born to Mac. That's another great Too Short classic, by the way. It didn't do as well as this one that we're talking about here, but definitely it had its gems. Definitely, Freaky Tales is one of my favorite Too Short songs. Like I said, I'll play it for you later, or link it for you guys later. Anyway, what do you like about this song? I ain't tripping.
I like that he was kind of just discussing the people gossiping about him. He says, "Word went out, Sir Too Short was through. Can't really say where it all began, so I'm blaming it all on you." I like the very end when he says, "Benzes roll, Beamers jet, and caddies keep on dipping. You keep talking all that crap. I ain't
I ain't
tripping," because he's
tripping.
kind of like just like the caddies dip and the Beamers jet. You just gonna talk crap. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. Um, One thing that surprised me in the music video, I'm like, Mr. Cooper. What
Yeah,
the heck?
Mark Curry. Well, he is from Oakland, so it kind of doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I forgot. It's been a very long time since I'd last seen that music video. I forgot he was in that video, but
Yes. Uh, Mr. Cooper would have came out in like 1990, like two, so it would have been
yeah,
later. But I know him as Mr. Cooper, so I'm
yeah,
like, what in the heck? You're like hating on going around the world gossiping about Too Short, hating on Too Short. I thought that was pretty funny. I
yeah,
was not expecting him to be there.
yeah. That was a bit of a surprise to me, also. But yeah, yeah, the video was better. I like the part where he was on the bus with his crew or whatever, and then Mr. Cooper talking through the video, and then that other guy talking through the video. So I think the music video was well better produced than uh, "Life Is Too Short" video. Yeah, so if you are going to watch a video from this album, definitely check out the "I Ain't Trippin'" video. It's a pretty solid music video. So
Yes.
and great song. Just pretty much for the most part, most of all the songs on here were great. So All right. So speaking of great, what do we think was the greatest as we get into our top three? What do you got?
S- So I landed on Life is Too Short, City of Dope, and Don't Fight the Feeling with an honorable mention for cuss words.
Okay, went a little in the opposite direction. I ain't tripping. That was my favorite. The other two I went with was "Don't Fight the Feeling" and "Cuss Words." Honorable mentions. Yeah, I mean, if "Cuss Words" isn't in your top three, if you listen to this album, so something's wrong with you. Honorable mention: "Life is Too Short." So I'm going with that.
Okay.
So yeah, we're
Wow, so we got pretty much all the same ones.
yeah. So which one do you want to start with? Fight the Feeling, Don't Fight the Feeling, or what was your other
Yes, we
one?
can start with that one.
All
Yeah.
right,
Uh,
I'll let you kick it off.
I liked it just because I wasn't expecting the girl to pop up. I was expecting him to say like so in verse "Hey ho you like to fuck," and the girl comes back in verse 2 and she's like, "Nigga, please, you provoke no feeling. You must have forgot the girls of whom you're dealing." And then I'm like, this she's kind of talking in almost old English in some points of this. She's like, "We haven't the urge to get busy." And verse 3, he comes back and he's like, "I'm a player, bitch. I thought you knew." And she comes back in verse 4 and like, "To fight the feeling, there would have to be one. And mathematically, me and you have none." And Forte comes in and he's like, "Some of these freaks just need to quit it." And he's saying like, "Oh, you guys are just faking like you don't want to be freaky." And then verse 6, Too Short comes back and he's like, "I like big butts, not big mouths." So I thought it was very funny. I don't think I've ever heard a song where they're going back and forth in that way. So I thought it was funny and interesting.
So interesting thing about this song, I've seen Too Short perform live a few times. He every time he's come out, he's always done this song. Well, obviously he just does, like a verse or two now since the Danger Zone, and he's not always with rapping Forte like that. So usually he'll just do his verses. Love the beginning of the song. Say ho, yeah. Can I ask you a question? You like to fuck? Oh, you don't want me to talk to you like that? Yeah. The beginning always gets me, and then it's like if you've never heard the song before, you would be like surprised to just be hearing women just talking on this song like, okay, they're going back and forth like,
Yes. Yeah, that was very unique.
yeah, it was pretty unique song, and then then Forte comes, and it's just like, I am the rapper that they call Forte. I'm gonna tell you, like homie Short Dog would say, hoes in the world trying to play it sweet, knowing damn well that they want a freak. So it's like, yeah, so it's just like then he has like the two girls rapping again, and after that he brings his back up like rapping Forte, and then it's just like then he finishes off the song pretty much, and then that's why I asked you that question. Like, I'll just call you a bitch, biatch, at the end of the song. So that's why I was like, what's this guy's favorite word? Like, so yeah, definitely the funniest song on this album. And then in terms of the beat too, it samples a song "One Way" of the same title, "Don't Fight the Feeling." So that's definitely one of the samples that was used throughout the whole album. Very good beat, and that just never gets old. So um, even though it's a good beat, I would just be careful who you play the song around, if you know what
Yes.
I mean. but
Not
but
safe for work.
yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, definitely not a safe for work song. I would keep it with "I Ain't Tripping" if you're gonna play some Too Short at work, but or even "Life Is Too Short." But and then all right, so that was one of our favorites. What was your other favorite? City of Dope, and what else?
And uh life is too short.
Life is too short. All right, so then we'll just go to my other favorite, cuss words. Yes, this was I mean, Yeah, yeah, this was just a very good song. Just really just one big verse, but definitely I love the part where he calls out, Ronald Reagan, not having to answer or answer for cancer, and then I said, what are you doing in the White House if you're not selling cocaine? Ask your wife, Nancy Reagan. I know she'll spit that. So yeah, I mean, I mean, rest in peace, Ronald Reagan, but former U.S. president. But yeah, if he heard this song, yeah, I'm pretty sure he had to be appalled during the time. And then when I hear like, drugs and Ronald Reagan, I can't help but to think of that old campaign he had during the '80s, the war on drugs, which was some bullshit that he got from Nixon. Which, yeah, yeah, pretty messed up situation. Just go ahead, Google it, the war on drugs, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you know what I am talking about, it's just real messed up situation. So the fact that he's putting the name of a drug, with White House Ronald Reagan, just I can't help but not think that. And then just definitely the profanity that he was using, just just saying all the cuss words to all you bitches, hoes, and all that shit. Here's another rap that I'm ready to spit. Just yeah, he just says it all. Definitely just this was just a song just to piss people off. And this is just another perfect
Yes.
example of not of this not being a gangster record, but being a dirty record. Because like I said, he doesn't talk about like any kind of violence on here, really. I mean, on the whole album, quite frankly. So, what?
Yes.
Yeah, what was your reason why you had this as honorable mention?
Yes, he really didn't talk about any violence. I hadn't thought of that, but yes, he is kind of like a kid. I don't know if you've seen those things. There's like these TikToks where
Hmm.
the moms have the kid go into the bathroom and they're like, you can say whatever cuss word you want for 30 seconds. And the kid is this is what
I've
this
heard
song
about it,
felt
but
like. Yeah, especially at the end, he's like, cuss words, just let them know, motherfucking shit, goddamn asshole, cuss words, just don't quit, motherfucking shit, you damn shithead bitch. And I like another part on the song where he says, I'm a MC rapper, a MC rapper, a big bankroller, and a cold capper. But yeah, this was a fun song. It reminded me of being a kid. I remember being a kid and just saying cuss words just because nobody was around to tell me not to. But that's what it
yeah,
felt
well, you
like.
can't say whatever you want when no one's around and no one will catch you, right? So it's not like if you say a cuss
Right.
word, you'll go to jail or anything like that. So
Right.
yeah, cuss words was a very very good song, very funny song. Not the funniest song. I think "Don't Fight the Feeling" was much funnier, but yeah, that definitely a lot of great material on this album. So if you guys haven't listened to it, I definitely recommend it. And would assume you'd recommend it as well if you hadn't listened to Too Short's Life is Too Short. Very good album. All right, so
Yes.
for album cuts expansions, like I said earlier in the episode, Jive Records took over distribution in 1989. So there was one extra track on here, but it was only like a preview of his next album, which was Short Dogs in the House, I believe. I believe that was the name of it. Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much all it was. Not I couldn't find it on YouTube. If you can find it, let me know. But it was like literally only less than a minute. So really no like secret songs or anything like that or anything that I could find
Yeah.
anyway. So
I,
uh,
I thought that was pretty unique how he put that on there. Born to Mac, he plays a sample,
yeah.
and I didn't know. You said earlier in the episode that that song or that album didn't do well. So he's
Mm,
taking this album, which I guess he knows this album's gonna do well, and he's like, "Look, y'all need to listen to my last album."
yeah.
It kind of reminded me of I used to on PlayStation. I get used to get to demo video games,
Oh yeah.
and
Demo
they give you
disc.
a little sample. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
demo
little
disc.
demo. So it
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of that. I don't think we've seen that before. So yeah, we've never seen that before on these episodes anyway, where they put a sample of their last album on
Mm.
there. So I thought that was good business on his end.
Yeah, definitely. I know it definitely brought more sales to Born the Mac. I know it. I think Born the Mac it did go gold, but yeah, it didn't do as well as this one. So, but yeah, definitely this one went double platinum, and then his next one, two, three, four, five records would go just platinum at least, and then after that, when he came back out of retirement, I think he just went gold a few more times. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, he definitely did it from the streets. Definitely just just a born Mac, a born hustler. He did it his way, and you just gotta admire him for it. So recommendations that I would have. He was in a crew called the Dangerous Crew. Too many people to name. Well, I can name some of them. It featured besides him, Ant Banks, who was a well-known producer in the Bay Area, Rappin' Forte, who was on this album, and a guy we talked about a while back on the E40 episode. We'll do one of his albums eventually. Spice One was in this group as well. They had a studio album called The Dangerous Crew. I can't find it anywhere, so if you know how to get it or listen to it, let me know. I would be interested. And then other two recommendations would be the following. Got to give it up to Rappin' Forte since he was on the album. He had an album that came out in '91, which was Rappin' Forte is Back. And then I got to give my credit where credit's due also. Another fellow Oakland rapper, MC Hammer. Let's Get It Started, which came out in 1988. So, which was about the time that this record came out. So I did my best to try to find some stuff that came around during the time or who, people who were on the album. Um, so I think those are some good recommendations. But once again, encourage you to just check out, Too Short's catalog along with his whole with other Bay Area rappers as well. Definitely if it's anyone who did it for the Bay, it was definitely him. So let's get into our closing thoughts now. Any closing thoughts you have on this album? We know that we both would recommend, but anything else you want to say? Any tracks you're taking back to your playlist?
Yes, definitely. Life is too short. I thought that was a great song. Like you said earlier, I didn't find it to be like gangster or hardcore, but it was very real. It,
Mm,
it ranged, it ran the gamut from like very serious discourse about suicide and the value of life to just saying cuss words just to say them. It was refreshing. It's something I love about the albums with little to no features. It's
mm.
like the artist is like uninterrupted and pure. So I really love this album.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I mean, I ain't tripping and don't fight the feeling already in my rotations. Definitely the two singles, Life is Too Short, City of Dope. Oakland wasn't one of my favorite songs, but it has that like nice feel beat, like that R&B type beat kind of. So it's like you kind of can't hate it, but
Yeah.
it's not my favorite Too Short song at the same time. And then definitely cuss words. If it was any song that I didn't really like too much or care for too much, well, it had to be Rhymes. I didn't really care for that song too much, but otherwise, every other song on here I think was fire. All right. Let us know your favorite tracks from this album. And for Netta, aka Wondrous Net, I'm Justin, too tall for you fools, saying thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see you on the next one. Later.